film about whistleblowing and freedom of speech, and basically this is a video that was done 4 years ago that the British Medical Association threatened with breach of copyright, and I think that's silly, because I think people should hear Edward Jesseden's story and understand why he blew the whistle. So here's the reason why, but it's a mystery why lawyers threatened Mr. Jessedin for breach of copyright when it was his speech. I think people should be able to watch it, make their own mind, and if they decide to support his case, go to the Crowd Justice website, listen to the end of the video. Here's a screenshot of the Vimeo page showing that it got blocked by legal action from the BMA.
From the South West Regional Council. Who I didn't know, but Ed, you are a first-time speaker. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks. Good morning, RB. It's a pleasure to be here as a first-time speaker, and I speak in support of the motion. I've personal experience in this matter, and I suggest, in fact, that the motion doesn't go far enough. Even the Secretary of State has acknowledged that there's a deep problem with this culture of fear and a problem with whistleblowing within the NHS. And because of that, patients are killed or maimed as a result. In my own case, I reported the suboptimal care of children at Alder Hey Hospital in Liverpool, and also that one of my colleagues, a prior whistleblower, had been discredited with the bogus claim that he was suicidal. When confronted by my allegation, 2 colleagues admitted their role in the covert suicide claim against Ahmed, but the Trust concealed these confessions from Mr. Ahmed's employment tribunal. The authors of the suicide claim then sought to prevent my return to Alder Hey from an MRC secondment in the USA, citing a breakdown of relationships, and this despite the fact that before leaving I'd never had a complaint from them, and I'd worked at Alder Hey since 1998. In July 2012, with the BMA's support, we won a High Court injunction halting the Trust from trying to get rid of me on that basis, and the judge ordered costs against the Trust. The Trust then offered me a large 6-figure sum to go quietly, which I refused, wanting the matters to be properly investigated. Thank you. In December 2012, days before seeking to make the injunction permanent, and against my express wishes, the BMA's own appointed lawyers tried to get me an even bigger payoff in return for destruction of concealed evidence about the suicide claim against my colleague Mr. Ahmed. Instead, I released the evidence, and as a result of which the BMA lawyers pulled the plug on my case, so it settled without judgment, and I was bankrupted by the cost. The Trust promised to sue me unless I resigned, and with no finances to defend myself, I had no alternative. I've not slept under a roof of my own since 2012. The BMA is now suing me for its $250,000 costs and has agreed to spend the same amount again to retrieve that. So the BMA is part of this problem. Trusts manage the issues with them rather than protecting patients and whistleblowers. And like the GMC has just announced, I suggest the BMA needs to hold an independent investigation into how it approaches whistleblowing problems. Thank you.
Miss Emma Runswick from the Medical Students Committee. Pause now. Stop. Thank you, RB. And thank you, Mr. Jesseden.